tonight. Our special transmission as Israeli groups blocking aid into Gaza receive tax-deductible funds from the US and Israel. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. This is Muslim News Canada on Muslim Network TV. I'm Aisha Ashraf. Today is the 285th day since Israel started targeting Palestinians indiscriminately. Israel continued its airstrikes on Gaza throughout the day. The Palestinian Health Ministry reports in the past 24 hours, at least 81 civilians have been killed. 198 have been injured. The Health Ministry describes the attacks as massacres against Palestinian families. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has pledged to increase pressure on Hamas. This comes as hopes for a US-backed ceasefire deal fades. Civil defense officials say 3 airstrikes targeted a United Nations-run school in the Nusayrat refugee camp. 30 people have been killed in the strikes. A house and a mosque have also been targeted. Many civilians are trapped under the rubble. Another bombing in the Shakush area in Rafah has killed 2 Palestinians. The United Nations Relief and Works Agency says at least 8 of its schools sheltering displaced people have been struck in the last 10 days. In the 9 months of conflict, 70% of these schools have been bombed, killing 539 Palestinians. 16 Palestinians released from Israeli custody alleged torture, assault, and humiliation. The death toll from Israel's war is alarming. At the time of writing, at least 38,794 Palestinians have been killed by Israeli attacks. A revised report by the United Nations estimates another 10,000 civilians are buried under the rubble. 89,364 Palestinians have been injured. Israel's death toll from Hamas's attack stands at 1,139. CIA Director Bill Burns claims Yahya Sinwar, leader of Hamas, is facing pressure from his own commanders to agree to a ceasefire deal with Israel. Sinwar is known for launching October 7th attacks. On the other hand, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is facing domestic pressure for a resolution that includes the return of hostages. Burns made these comments during a closed-door meeting. The U.S. intelligence agency says Sinwar is sheltering in tunnels beneath Khan Yunis. Israeli far-right groups obstructing aid to Gaza have amassed over $200,000 from U.S. and Israeli donors via crowdfunding sites. The contributions are tax-deductible. This comes as Israel has pledged to deliver large quantities of humanitarian aid into Gaza under U.S. pressure. But at the same time, the US and Israel are allowing tax-deductible donations to 3 groups responsible for blocking and looting aid. One of the groups, Mother's March, has raised $125,000 on GiveChack and $13,000 on JGive. GiveChack and JGive are both Israeli crowdfunding sites. Group Tzav-9 has collected $85,000. The group has been blocking aid convoys since January. Previously, the U.S. sanctioned Tzav-9 for obstructing aid in the West Bank. Human rights groups say these efforts are not possible without the government's support. B'Tselem, an Israeli advocacy group, says these groups have attacked aid convoys in front of Israeli soldiers without being stopped. China will host officials from Hamas and Fatah next week in Beijing. The meeting aims to reconcile the rival Palestinian factions. This is the second such meeting hosted by China. Initial talks took place in April. China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi will mediate meetings on July 21st and 23rd. The nationalist Fatah leads the Palestinian Authority in the West Bank. Hamas militants rule the besieged Gaza territory. Fatah's delegation includes Mahmoud al-Alul, while Ismail Haniyeh will be leading the Hamas delegation. The 2 parties have been long divided. The situation has been exploited by Israel. Experts say reconciliation between the 2 factions is crucial for Gaza's future post-war recovery. The United Arab Emirates has deported a student from New York University, Abu Dhabi, for shouting Free Palestine during his graduation ceremony. The incident has sparked concerns over free speech in the UAE. The student was wearing a Palestinian keffiyeh and shouted the slogan while receiving his diploma. The university is facing criticism for its response. The American Association of University Professors condemns the university for failing to protect its community from governmental actions. Lebanese Judge Salam has been elected as a new president of the International Court of Justice for a 3-year term. Judge Julia Sebutinde of Uganda has been elected vice president. The International Court of Justice is the United Nations' highest judicial body. It consists of 15 judges. The judges serve 9-year terms and are appointed by the UN General Assembly and Security Council. Judge Salam has previously served as Lebanon's ambassador to the UN. He began his tenure at the court in 2018. Vice President Sebutinde has been the court's member since 2012. Recently, she gained attention for voting against emergency measures requested by South Africa in Israel's genocide case. Muslims worldwide observe Ashura this week, marking the 10th day of Muharram. Muharram is the first month of the Islamic calendar. The day commemorates the martyrdom of Hussein ibn Ali, the grandson of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Hussein was martyred in Karbala, Iraq in 680 CE. Canada, Iraq, and Iran observed Ashura yesterday, while in South Asia it was observed today. The day of Ashura holds historical significance in Islam. On the day of Ashura, Prophet Moses held his staff out over the waters of the Red Sea. This made the water divide, allowing his followers safe passage. Prophet Moses and his followers were fleeing from the Egyptians. On the same day, Prophet Noah left the ark after the flood water receded. Many Muslims fast on this day. Ashura remains a solemn day symbolizing resistance against tyranny and unity among Muslims worldwide. Thank you for watching. Our news is produced by Muslim Network TV, which is a non-profit organization. We need your support for donations. Please scan the QR code on our broadcast or visit muslimnetwork.tv to donate now, so we can continue to amplify the voices of Muslims in Canada and abroad.